Everyday life, from the significant to the petty. Time now for Christy Gustafson-Barlette on 107.7 GNA.
All right, the Golden Goose, the KGB, the Content Queen, and Christy Guns and Stuff Barlette.
Is that what you came up with?
Yes, because we're no longer doing Gusta Rhymes, because it's a hip-hop
You
thing.
need more country.
Yeah.
Right.
Christy Guns and Stuff Barlette.
Do you like it? It's a working title.
I could get used to it.
It's a working title.
I can get used to it.
It's a working
Oh, please.
title.
The woman who has an opinion on
It's a
everything, I can
working
get
name.
used to it. So, Christy, this was fascinating. Great content, as always, up on your Facebook and at timesunion.com. This was actually an email that you got from a reader. You call them ARAs, as in
Right, a reader asks.
A reader asks. And why don't you go ahead and set it up, and then we'll debate it. And what's interesting is that on your social media, you didn't provide any closure in terms of what this young couple did, but we'll be able to have that on the radio this morning, so this should be fun.
Yes. So a young woman wrote in, and she's engaged, and she's ready to get married. And she and her husband-to-be started looking they picked a venue and started looking at dates. It just so happened that a date that was very significant to them was available. It was the date, as far as the number goes, of their first date. It was her birthday date, not her actual birthday, and her fiancé's college sports number. So she said, oh, my gosh, 27, this is perfect. This is the day we'll get married. So they said to the venue, great, we're going to sign the contract. We'll do that. And then they started telling their parents and their family and checking in and saying, hey, we're getting married on the 27th of July. When she called her mother-in-law all excited and she explained why the date was, her mother-in-law-to-be, why the date was important, the mother-in-law just kind of sat there quiet and didn't say anything and then said to her, no, I'm sorry, I have a work event. It's a volunteer charity event, and I work it every year, so that date doesn't work for me. You'll need to find a different date to get married.
And that's what the readers weighed in on.
So the reader's upset because she said, I'm a combination of mad, annoyed, hurt, and shocked. And her fiancé feels the same way, but he feels they should just pick another date and make that date special just so that they, weddings are stressful enough planning.
Save face.
He's like, eliminate this one element of stress so we can move forward rather than have this kind of burden us the whole time.
And the future mother-in-law would not, she wouldn't waver, she wouldn't back down.
No, she just said, this is what I do. I've done it for years. It's not her event, per se. She doesn't run the event, but she works the event every single year. She helps out at this event.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to miss it.
How much advance notice did they give to the mom? Was this
almost a year?
Okay, so I know initially people are thinking meddling mother-in-law. It's a young couple, stand your ground. A wedding is more important. Blah blah blah. Or maybe there were some people thinking, no, I have a real serious work commitment and a function, a thing I do every single year. And the young couple needs to be respectful of that. And I think a lot of your readers are kind of split down the middle.
Yeah, what was the percentages, would you say, Christy?
They really are. Normally we have an overwhelming percentage. It's about 60-ish percent, 60+% said the mother-in-law is, in the wrong and that she should skip the event this year because if it's every year, she can go another year. And then about 40% said no, the couple should change the date and make a different date special to them, so that the mother-in-law is not put in this awkward position, and then the couple's not put in this awkward position because the mother-in-law obviously should be at the wedding.
All right, so let's start with some of our thoughts here. Chrissy, what are your initial thoughts? Does the mother-in-law cave, or should the couple cave?
Well, knowing what the event was, my initial thought was the mother-in-law could skip this one time because she does have the opportunity to go at other times. But then I also thought if this is a commitment she's already made, and it's something that's very important to her, and she always goes to it, if there's another date at the same venue with the same people that you really wanted to do, and obviously you want your mother-in-law at your wedding, then, you maybe should, try to find another date that works, and then that date will become special because hopefully it'll be your anniversary for the next however many years.
So you didn't really give much,
So I'm saying, I guess I almost feel 60-40, but
no,
the other way,
what do you think?
In favor of the mother-in-law.
No, you can't be in the middle on this.
I'm not totally in the middle. I'm giving you 60%.
Yeah, but if you're 60% is pretty much in the middle because you said that's what your readers thought, and you said they were split right down the middle. So you can't have it both ways.
I understand where they're both coming from, and I also understand that weddings make everybody crazy.
Christy,
when you're
if this
planning
was
the
you-
mother-in-law can't miss the wedding, so you've got to switch the wedding.
You have to switch the wedding. To
Yeah.
me, it's a no-brainer. Like, how people can be saying meddling mother-in-law. Listen, and I'm sorry. I know that you want to jump in, and I know that you do as well, Jess, so go ahead. You guys take it from
Okay,
here.
I'm just going to say this.
I'll just keep going.
What about
I'll
to
keep
back
going.
away? What about the son? Like, where is his voice in this?
Well,
If
that's what a lot of readers said,
if
that the
it's-
son should have spoken up and not put this on the wife-to-be.
Yes.
That the son should have talked to the mother, because now the fiancé is in this awkward position that she's dealing with her mother-in-law to be, rather than the son addressing it with his mom, since the son wants that date as well.
Yeah,
Like,
get
you
in
should go
front
talk
of
to
her,
But the
talk
son-
to her, and say, "Listen, Mom, this is what we planned. You're a volunteer at this event. That's what you told us. So you're a volunteer at this event. It will happen next year. This is a once, hopefully, in a lifetime event that I really need you at."
I disagree. I think that the son-in-law, or the son, I should say, the husband, is certainly responsible, but he's responsible because he's ignorant in this whole situation.
Why? It's a volunteer
Because
event. She doesn't
you
run
need
the
to
event.
know if
She doesn't
something
do
is
any of
that
that.
important to your family, you should know about it. And that should have been a date that should have been like, I don't know, I think my mom does something around this time of year
Around
that's
that
really
time. I don't
important to her.
expect him to know
And
the
that
exact
date
date.
should have been off the table to begin with.
Because if she's just a volunteer, if she runs that event every year, yes,
does not
he
run
should
this event.
definitely know. She just wants to be a part of the event because she's been doing it for years. So I now disagree. I think that he should have stepped in and said, "Listen, Mom, this is the date. Like, you can miss this event one time, please. I mean, I'm your son, and I want you to be at our wedding."
What we didn't disclose, by the way, is that the fundraiser is for local cheerleaders who want to go to Orlando.
Oh, then never mind. I retract everything I just
She's
said.
got to put that out there.
She's got to be
I'm
there.
just kidding.
I just retract
There are no
everything.
cheerleaders
That's our
involved in
favorite
this event.
fundraiser.
Oh, that's
Okay,
terrible.
here's the
Okay,
thing.
sorry, Christy.
Let's open this up. 518-476-1077. And Christy, if you can, could you hang on with us for just a couple of minutes? Because I want to go to a quick break, and then we'll come back, because we'll have on the air what the young couple decided to
Yes.
do. Did they change the date, or did they stick to their convictions? And I think there's going to be some people going, you got to change the date. You got to stick to your convictions. Half of you guys are going to probably be upset with the outcome. And we're kind of doing an extended segment with our girl, Christy Guns and Stuff, Barlette, from the Times Union, timesunion.com. The subject that we're discussing this morning actually came to you from a reader, and it's a young couple planning a wedding date. The date that they had picked out meant something to them, I should say, like the actual physical number. And a lot of couples do that. They find something
They
that's
have a
sort of
special number.
yeah, that sort of is like special, unique to them. And so they chose the 27th of whatever month it was. That did not work for the future mother-in-law because she does volunteer work, and every
At
year
a special event that
she's committed.
happens that day as well.
So readers, listeners too, have been chiming in, and they're pretty much split. I think 60%, you mentioned, Christy, said that they should choose a date that they want, and then another 40% said they should change the date for their future mother-in-law. Right? Is that accurate?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
And so now we actually we can find out what the young couple did. Did they change the date, or did they stay true to their convictions?
Okay, yeah. So the couple decided to change the date. And
Wow.
It's a good move. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I think it's the
now
right thing to do.
The bride-to-be is still, smarting from this decision, but it's funny, too, because I know she's listening and actually just messaged me, and she's like, well, I see what you guys are all saying, but...
What's her name? What's her maiden name? What's
yeah,
her
right?
future? What's her current? What's her?
Security number. And where's her mom work?
Yeah. What's the
Or his mom.
last 4 digits of the mom?